Everybody, welcome to HBCU Gameday Saturday. It's been an HBCU infused weekend, right? All across Atlanta. All eyes on the city this evening because the season is here. You're here. I'm here. We have ourselves a three-piece of HBCU games today, but a really big one on deck with the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Hey, what's going on, family? I'm Tolly Carr, and North Carolina Central versus Alcorn State. It's the move for your Saturday. Thank you so much for being right here. Now, neither team played this spring. We know that. So this is a big welcome back moment for both of these squads. And it's really a big welcome back moment for Trey Oliver. This is his third year, but just his second full season trying to build some momentum down in the Bull City to restore his alma mater to the top of what is now a six-man race in the MEAC. Now, along the way, Oliver will have to go through some old friends.
There's one possible budding rivalry in particular that has a couple of former NCCU teammates from the 90s staring at one another from across the sideline.
He has no room whatsoever as he is swallowed up by Tyrone Odom. Odom, an outside linebacker, nicknamed the Panther.
Well, first of all, you guys call him Dawson, and I went to school with them teammates of mine, and we called him Tyrone. So I don't know if he was on the run from the feds and changed his name or what's going on.
Trey Oliver coming up to support the run from his strong safety position. Preseason all-conference selection. He hangs a beauty.
We played together at North Carolina Central.
North Carolina Central leads at 21-0. They've looked every bit the part of the number 9 ranked team in the Division II NCAA poll coming into the afternoon.
He gave me my first coordinator job at Southern University. And then, you know, when I got the word that he was coming here in the conference, I definitely welcome that. I'm looking forward to the battles that, that we're going to have. And the first one's going to be back in Durham, so it'll be, a good homecoming for him. It's not going to be personal between coach and I, but I don't think it's going, we don't have anything to do with, with the game or it being a rivalry.
It doesn't feel like that long ago that they were taking the MEAC championship back to the room.
We're going home with this one. Let's go to the room with us, baby. We're going to sleep with it tonight.
When you look at it, we've always been, for the most part, in the running. Obviously, A&T's won in the last couple of years, but prior to A&T's run, Central was up there. And those are the expectations of myself, our fan base, and our administration. That's why we play the game, is to win championships. So our vision doesn't change. Our thought process or mindset doesn't change, regardless of who's in the conference. So, the teams that are here, those are the ones that we're going to work to defeat. And I wholeheartedly expect to be in the running, in the mix, come December.
All right, thank you, Wally Pitt on the production there, and we're going to hear more from Wally later. And there'll be plenty of time to talk about North Carolina Central and Norfolk State later in the year. But today it is the Eagles versus the Braves of Alcorn State. Now, Alcorn, the defending champions from the fall over in the SWAC, and they have faced Trey Oliver plenty of times when he was the defensive coordinator at Southern University. But the results, according to our SWAC insider, B.J. Jones, maybe they weren't the greatest.
Well, Trey Oliver is on that staff. He's familiar with Alcorn. Matt Leone, the offensive coordinator, also at Southern. Juan Navarro, the defensive coordinator, who was on that staff at Southern, also at Arkansas Pine Bluff. You got a group of guys that are familiar with Alcorn. Now, if you're a Southern fan, you're probably saying, hey, defensively, we fared a lot better against Alcorn once Trey Oliver departed, as opposed to when he was the DC. So Alcorn is probably looking at those films when he was the DC to kind of figure out what to expect on Saturday. And if you're Alcorn, one thing that they were able to do against Trey Oliver's defenses is run the football. And they were able to do that effectively. So I expect to see Alcorn on the ground early and often on Saturday.
But that's you just throw a dart at the calendar. That's any Saturday for Alcorn, right? If they know they can run the ball, Coach McNair's not going to hesitate to pound it on you.
Yeah, man. That offense from Alcorn, I think that Felix Harper brings a different element because now they're not so heavy on the run. With he and Charles Pringle and the rest of those guys that they have on the outside, they're formidable in the pass game, and that makes that offense that much more dangerous and hard to stop. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. I would not forget about the trigger man, number 2 back there. Felix Harper, who's one of the best in the country, if you ask me.
Yeah, but not considered one of the best in the SWAC. And the reigning SWAC Player of the Year returns, not voted as one of the top 2 quarterbacks in the league. And there's some good ones out there. I mean, you know, who are you going to take off the list? But I don't think Felix Harper is looking at it that way. Maybe a little bit of a chip and an edge on his shoulder, or as the quarterback, BJ, do you have to just put all that stuff out of your mind?
I think Felix, you know, he internalizes things like that. I think that was one of those you didn't play in the spring type of situations. But I think when it all said and done, man, I think people know, you know, what he is and what he means to that football team and the talent that young man has. So I think that he internalizes it, and I think that the entire Alcorn football team is eager to prove that they have some all-conference guys, because none of them, you know, got rated to that preseason all-conference team, and I think that charged them up a little bit.
All right, Central, they're going to have to deal with Felix Harper, as BJ discussed, and even Captain Obvious would roll his eyes at that. Of course, you got to deal with Felix Harper, man. Who else you going to deal with playing Alcorn State? The elusive quarterback, he was the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year in 2019, which, you know, ancient history with all we've been through the last couple of years, but 33 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, a 60% completion ratio. And what can you do to stop him? You got to be quicker. You got to be better, I guess, which is easy to say, a lot harder to do. Right now, we have an interesting article up at HBCUGameday.com where we have an anonymous SWAC assistant coach give his honest assessment of Harper's game. He details his strengths, what he perceives as his weaknesses, and everything in between. It's a pretty cool read. You can check that out. We published it on August 26th, like Thursday-ish, so it's still pretty close to the top of the feed. Now, Alcorn State, now in the Western Division of the SWAC, still regarded as one of the teams, if not the team to beat in the SWAC this year. It is so good to see Coach McNair and the boys back on the field again. All right, so also on the schedule for today, a big SIAC matchup in an even bigger stadium. We have Central State University and Kentucky State. They're going to be playing in the HBCU Classic, the Classic for Columbus. That game is going to be at the Ohio State University, and they're going to play it in the shoe. Marauder coach Bobby Rome, look, he has a lot of kids from Ohio, right? And he knows a lot of those kids probably grew up dreaming of playing at Ohio State. Well, today they're going to get to play at Ohio State, but they're going to be wearing some of those sweet Marauder uniforms. And so that's how it is. It's a big stage put on for your city. But when they do return home, Wilberforce, it's a brand new day on campus because they have some nice digs, a new turf. They've redone the track. It's a brand new looking facility. Thanks to the Honey Bear Project, which is doing a lot of great things in the HBCU community. We're documenting that as well at HBCUGameday.com. Just go search for Central State. They've redone stadiums at Virginia Union as well. Morehouse, they're on the move. Now, let's talk about the other side in the HBCU Classic. It's going to be Kentucky State. Don't sleep on the Thoroughbreds. 2019, again, a long time ago. But, hey, they went 7-3 that year. They defeated Robert Morris on the road. Jackson State knocking off a couple of D1 teams. They beat Jackson State in the Circle City Classic, and they beat Central State 34-28 on the road in Wilberforce. Now, Charlie Jackson is low-key one of the better coaches that a lot of people aren't talking about right now at Kentucky State, but by the time this season is over, that just might change. Okay, rounding out today's action, Edward Waters University, not college, university now, taking on Florida Memorial, the return of football last fall for Florida Memorial. COVID kind of ended up winning that battle. They weren't able to finish the season, but the fighting spirit of Florida Memorial, FMU, they're going to run it back this fall. Big matchup today. Edward Waters, another facility with big upgrades down in Jacksonville. I mean, HBCUs are on the rise, right? Of course, that story at HBCUGameday.com. Just do a search for Edward Waters.
The Orange Blossom Classic Battle of the Bands is going down between Florida A&M University's Marching 100 and Jackson State University's Sonic Boom of the South. Going down at the Anson Sports Complex Friday, September 3rd. Tickets on sale now.
MIA. Labor Day weekend football will be the start of the season for most programs and one of the most anticipated games in quite a while. Come on. I know you say we keep hyping it up, but come on, man. the return of the Orange Blossom Classic. SWAC newcomer FAMU hoping to bust it wide open and knock off one of Florida's favorite sons in Deion Sanders and his Jackson State Tigers.
The 2021 Orange Blossom Classic might just be the most anticipated HBCU football game of all time.
Let's go, Jackson State, baby. We in the building, baby.
We got Coach Prime in Jackson State.
I'm not just Prime, I'm Coach Prime now.
Prime has recruited the #1 ranked JUCO defensive back in the country. We've also signed a 4-star quarterback, which happened to be the last name of Sanders.
Taking on Shotgun Willie Simmons and the new SWAC Rattlers in FAMU's first game in the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
We're going to unleash Shotgun Willie Simmons with a group called the Rack Boys.
Myers in the end zone. Xavier Smith. That's big time. Touchdown.
And it's going down at the recently resurrected Orange Blossom Classic.
We had this dream about bringing back the Orange Blossom Classic. And now here we are.
A game whose origins began in 1933 in front of 2,000 fans at the Blacks Only Ballpark in Jacksonville, Florida. A game that set the standard for HBCU classics from 1933 to 1978, even serving as the mythical Black College National Championship game for a portion of that time. And the new Orange Blossom Classic features several throwbacks to the prior iteration of the event. A Friday night band battle that's guaranteed to be as intense, if not more, than the one that takes place on the gridiron. A Saturday morning parade through the historically Black Miami Gardens neighborhood.
I remember when I was a little boy growing up in the Liberty City area, and we waited so much for the opportunity to see the Marching 100 coming down 7th Avenue and going up 17th Avenue.
And a Sunday afternoon football game played in the state-of-the-art Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida.
I'm excited. How much does this stadium hold? Anybody know? 56,000? 66,000. Well, we got 33. You bring yours and we going to have our 33, all right? I played in front of 70, 80, 90,000 people, but not 70, 80, 90,000 of my people.
We all understand how important this game is, not only to the city of Miami Gardens and to South Florida, but to Florida A&M. This has been a staple in our historic legacy for over, I guess, 80 years now, since 1933, playing in this game. Like Tiffany said, at one time it was the Black College National Championship, and I have a strong feeling that the Black College National Champion very well may be decided from this game.
And while both teams have been preparing for the Orange Blossom Classic all summer long,
Ain't no playing, ain't no procrastinating, ain't no loafing, ain't no going easy, ain't no cutting no deal. Let's go hard.
Well, our focus again is to get better in the details, the fundamentals, and then after this last scrimmage this Saturday, we'll slowly start to shift our focus to Jackson State.
Come September 5th, all that back and forth is sure to be settled between the lines as the 2021 Orange Blossom Classic kicks off a new era of HBCU football. One where the national media attention is expected to meet the authentic HBCU experience on a level we've never seen before.
Because this is not just a game, it's a celebration. It's an opportunity for us to put our players on stage. And God would bring me here and back to play my first game in my home state with both of my sons. You got to be kidding me, on the sideline with me. I can't wait.
All right, thanks again, Wally. So much happening that weekend. Whew, we're going to have complete team coverage from the whole entire HBCU Game Day squad. We might hire some more people this week. HBCU Gameday Saturday, that is this show. It's brand new. It will premiere every Saturday afternoon, 12 noon Eastern. We're going to take you all the way up to the first kickoff of the day in the HBCU universe. And after each game is over, highlights, post-game reaction right here at HBCU Game Day. One of those voices that you're going to hear, faces you'll see all year long. Vaughn Wilson down in Tallahassee, he covers FAMU. He is Mr. FAMU if you ask him. All right, so you know so much, Vaughn. Tell us, who is going to be the quarterback this year for the Rattlers?
I've never seen a quarterback race this open before. Coach Simmons can truly say that they have not decided on a #1 quarterback, because if you go to practice, some days you'll see Rashawn McKay, who was the probably favorite coming in. Then you've got Cameron Sapp, a very talented guy out of Jacksonville. He had an amazing spring. And then several newcomers on the roster, guys that have come in, freshmen out of high school, ready to step up to the plate and try to fill that big void left by Ryan Stanley, who seemed like he was at FAMU starting for about 6 years just because he started for 4 years. So it seemed like he was there forever and he was a staple and you didn't have to worry about the quarterback position. But that is the question for the Rattlers. Even in practice, you can't tell because Coach Simmons will start either of the guys to take reps with the number one team. And so he says he's made a decision, and we will roll with his decision. I think he's going to try to hold it till game time.
All right, so Coach Simmons, playing that one tight to the chest. Maybe we'll know by the time we kick off. All right, no doubt about who the quarterback for Jackson State is going to be. QB1 is Shadura Sanders, the 4-star QB. He's going to make his college debut in Hard Rock Stadium in the Sunshine State. Big environment for the young man, but after meeting him at SWAC Media Day, I quickly learned he's not concerned about environments, opposing teams, and all the drama.
Honestly, I haven't heard about none of that. I don't surround myself by people that's fans. You know what I mean? So the people I surround myself is people that, that's came here to have one goal. So we don't really talk about opposing teams and environments and stuff like that because as long as we do our job, it don't matter who we play.
It's a pretty bold answer there, huh? We ain't worried about it. All right, much more on the OBC next week, all week long down in Miami. We're going to have a big crew catching all the action and bringing it to you right here at HBCU Game Day. All right, let's have some fun predictions now to end the show. Asking my squad a couple of questions. They don't always follow directions, but let's see what we get. Predictions. Who's going to win today's MEAC SWAC Challenge? Who's going to win the MEAC? Who's going to win the SWAC? Who's going to be the Celebration Bowl? Here's what they had to say.
My predictions for 2021, starting off with the MEAC SWAC Challenge, I'm going to go with the Braves edging out the NCCU Eagles.
And it's tough. In the SWAC, I am picking the new member, Florida A&M, to emerge as the champion in their first year in the SWAC. Okay?
All right, it's 11:01 a.m. Monday, August 23rd, the year of our Lord, 2021. So these are my predictions. All right, we'll start in the SWAC. Give me Southern.
We'll start with the SWAC. I host a pregame show. I think I'll be going with the Jackson State Tigers to win the SWAC. I've seen it up close now. I do believe it is something that we will not have seen in the HBCU ranks.
Out of the, let me go with MEAC first. In the MEAC, I honestly think the champion of the MEAC will be the Spartans of Norfolk State.
Boom. So Pete, SWAC, Alabama A&M, Bama Bulldogs, MEAC, Norfolk State.
MEAC, not going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with South Carolina State.
A lot of talk about Alcorn, a lot of talk about FAMU, Southern and the like. I think ultimately the champion of the Southwest Athletic Conference, drumroll, I think it's going to be the Jaguars from Southern.
Get to the MEAC. I'm rolling with my guys from the 757, Norfolk State. It's on you.
As far as for the MEAC, last year in 2020, I made a way too early prediction about MEAC championships, and I said that Buddy Pugh and South Carolina State would probably take the title, and I'm going to stick with that.
Okay, the Celebration Bowl means, according to my picks, it would be FAMU versus South Carolina State, and I'm going to go with the Rattlers out of Tallahassee, Florida.
I'm going with the newcomers. I'm going to go with the Rattlers for the simple fact is that team that went 9-2 with one FCS loss in 2019 is virtually intact.
And my Celebration Bowl pick. Ooh, and this is the Odom's Bowl. I'm gonna go with the I'm gonna roll with the Jaguars. Run and gun with the Jags. Let's go.
Norfolk and AAMU. I'm going with Norfolk. I think the Spartans take it all.
I think it'll be Jackson State and South Carolina State in the Celebration Bowl, with Jackson State kissing the trophy in front of John Grant.
And I'm going to give the edge at the end of the season to the Rattlers, putting their new pieces in with their well-oiled machine to take home their first Celebration Bowl, though they never had a chance to go to the Celebration Bowl while in the MEAC.
Okay, let me give you yours right now. Alcorn State on Saturday, Alabama A&M in the SWAC regular season, Norfolk State in the MEAC regular season. In the Celebration Bowl, give me Alabama A&M, a lot of weapons that Coach Maynard has. I think he's going to be able to utilize them and take home the title this year. You're already in the comments. I didn't even finish. You could have let me finish. You're already in the comments typing. I know. I don't know. I know that. I could have told you that. But what do you know? Huh? Let's see your predictions. Let's see it. All right, it's going to be a lot of fun to see how it all unfolds. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here. HBCU Gameday Saturday. It's the show. You're here every Saturday. Football is back. Great times. We'll see you later.